I can almost guarantee you've used this piece of software, but I'd also bet you've never heard of it. It's one of those unsung heroes, running silently in the background of millions of home networks, virtual machines, and dev labs. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on Dnsmasq.
So to really understand why this little program is such a big deal, let's just start with a simple question about the network you're probably on right now.
I mean, really think about it for a second. You get a new phone, a smart TV, maybe a laptop. You punch in the Wi-Fi password and bam, within seconds, it's online. It just works. But for that to happen, there's this incredibly complex digital conversation that has to go off without a hitch.
Even the simplest home network has this huge to-do list. Every single device that joins is screaming, hey, I need a unique address. It needs a way to find other local things, like your printer. It needs a map to the wider internet. And the router has to play traffic cop and keep track of who's who. Something has to manage this whole shebang.
And that something, in a ton of cases, is Dnsmasq. It's the lightweight, super efficient answer to all of those networking puzzles.
So what is it, officially? Well, Dnsmasq is a server that juggles two critical jobs. DNS, which is kind of like the internet's phone book, and DHCP, the service that hands out those unique IP addresses. And the words you really want to pay attention to here are lightweight and easy to configure.
Yeah, the whole idea behind Dnsmasq is just simplicity. It was built from the ground up to do a few things and do them exceptionally well, without hogging all the memory and processing power on your router. And that's exactly why it's perfect for those little boxes that have limited resources.
All right, let's dive into its first superpower, the way it acts as a DNS server for your local network.
Okay, so let's follow a request on its journey. Your computer asks Dnsmasq, hey, what's the IP address for example.com? The first thing Dnsmasq does is check its memory, its cache. If it already knows the answer from a previous request, boom, you get it instantly. If not, it goes and asks a bigger DNS server out on the internet. But here's the really clever part. When it gets the answer, it saves a copy for later before passing it back to you.
And the impact of this is huge. For websites you go to all the time, that cache hit rate can be well over 90%. That means way fewer trips out to the big, wide internet and a much snappier browsing experience for you. It's a simple trick, but it has a massive payoff.
Okay, so Dnsmasq is great at helping your devices find stuff online, but how do they even get on your network to begin with? Well, that brings us to its second superpower, being a DHCP server.
When a new device joins, it does this little four-step dance called the Dora handshake. It's actually pretty cool. First, your device just shouts out into the network, that's the discover. Hey, anybody out there? I need an IP. Dnsmasq hears it and makes an offer of an available IP address. Your device then says, awesome, I'll take it. That's the request. And finally, Dnsmasq gives the official thumbs up with an acknowledge saying, it's all yours.
And all the while, behind the scenes, Dnsmasq is like this super meticulous librarian for your network. It keeps a list of leases, tracking exactly which device has which IP, for how long, and what its name is. It's the network's official logbook.
Okay, so we've got DNS on one hand and DHCP on the other. And, separately, they're pretty useful. But when Dnsmasq puts them together, oh man, that's where the real magic happens.
And this is the thing you have to understand. This tight integration of DNS and DHCP, this is Dnsmasq's killer feature. It is the whole reason it's so special. Remember that Dora handshake we just talked about? Well, during that little conversation, your device doesn't just ask for a number. It also introduces itself. It says something like, by the way, you can call me my laptop.
And here it is. This is the punchline. DNSQ hears that name, my laptop, and instantly creates a local DNS record for it. So what does that mean for you? It means the second your laptop connects, you can go to another computer on your network and just ping mylaptop.local. And it just works. No more memorizing IP addresses, it's totally seamless, completely automatic, and you didn't have to lift a finger. So with this super clever integrated design, where does this thing actually show up in the real world?
You can really see its sweet spot here when you put it up against the heavyweights, the big enterprise tools like Bind or ISC DHCP. You see it's not trying to win a feature-for-feature cage match. It loses on some of the complex stuff. But that last row, integrated, that's where Dnsmasq is all by itself with a big green check mark.
And because of that focus, it's the go-to choice for all kinds of things. It's the engine inside countless home routers because it barely uses any resources. It's perfect for creating simple, isolated networks for virtual machines and containers. You can even use it to block ads for your entire network, basically by telling all your devices that ad-serving websites live at an address that doesn't exist.
It's a seriously versatile little workhorse.
All right, so let's bring it all home. What is Dnsmasq? At its core, it's a simple, fast server that handles DNS and DHCP. It's perfect for small to medium networks. And its secret sauce, its magic trick, is how it automatically links device names to their IP addresses. You find it everywhere from your home router to development setups, just quietly making everything work.
And that kind of leaves us with one last thought, right? In a world that's just full of incredibly complex software, Dnsmasq is this powerful reminder that sometimes the best tool is the one that does its job so well you don't even know it's there. So the next time you connect to a network and it all just works, you'll know there's an unsung hero working quietly behind the scenes to make